The entertainment world is in shock as a long-standing family dynamic takes an unexpected and divisive turn tonight. We are seeing a total breakdown as Tiny Harris sobs. After a series of startling discoveries that left admirers stunned and what can only be described as a digital earthquake, Zonnique Pullins has finally spoken up, and what she said about her stepfather, T, is dominating every social media platform. Tonight's question for everyone: how long will this actually last? For years, we have followed the Harris family through the highs and lows of their celebrity on reality TV, but nothing could have prepared us for the recent revelation from Zonnique. In an honest moment, Zonnique addressed a timeline that suggests T's personal decisions and involvement in her life go far beyond dates. It goes far farther back than anyone realized, as the footage of Tiny Harris sobbing go viral. The internet is demanding answers. Is this an example of an overly protective father figure? Or is the beauty and gloss of the family hustle hiding a harsher reality? Tonight, we are exploring the heart of this story in great detail. We're looking at why the Harris household might never be the same again, the exact moment Tiny lost her temper, and the words Zonnique used to describe their relationship dynamics or dating history. Grab some popcorn and pay attention as we uncover additional information about this Hollywood drama. From the enigmatic social media posts to the poignant live transmissions, we have the full timeline that Zonnique revealed. Is T the antagonist in this story? Or is the media distorting a daughter's statements? When the truth is exposed, you won't believe how far back this myth actually goes. Let's look at the details of the issue that stopped song from playing on the internet. A scandal that has sparked the digital globe threatens to damage one of hip-hop's most enduring legacies. For over a decade, we have followed T and Tiny Harris as they navigate the difficulties of fortune, celebrity, and family through their reality TV lens. However, the picture of the family hustle has vanished in an instant, to be replaced by an unsettling reality that no one could have predicted. Tiny, Zonnique Pullins' oldest daughter, is the catalyst for this unprecedented fire. Millions of followers are astonished by the unexpected disclosure she made after emerging from the shadow of her stepfather's huge influence. When Zonnique used a live broadcast to address the rumors that were going around, "I did more than just pique people's interest." Her choice of words regarding a relationship timeline and the longevity of her special dynamic with T provoked a full inquiry by the court of public opinion. To understand the gravity of this collapse, we need to look past the surface-level headlines. This extends beyond a single argument or immediate consequences. It's about a narrative that, according to Zonnique, has been evolving behind closed doors for an amazing amount of time. As she revealed how long this extensive, controlling, and, as some are now claiming, inappropriate oversight has been taking place, the internet's collective gasp was audible. People are now rewatching previous videos with a fresh sense of unease, searching for situations where possession might have replaced protection. The boundaries that most families take for granted were blurred in the Harris household, according to Zonnique's admission, and the timeline she provided implies that was a regular aspect of her childhood rather than a fad. When news of this began to circulate, the world witnessed something truly unusual: Harris's total emotional breakdown. There has never been much glue. The powerful matriarch who patiently and calmly put up with T's legal troubles and marriage infractions. But it seems that the turning moment came when she saw her daughter articulate her reality in such a cryptic yet stinging manner. There was more to Tiny's on-camera collapse than just sorrow. A mother's response was sincere and visceral when she learned the house she had constructed was based on secrets. Her tears seemed to convey the awful truth that she may have played a part in what her daughter now considers to be a traumatic circumstance. Tiny's facial covering. In the gap of her voice came the sound of a woman watching her. The family's meticulously crafted facade collapses in real time. The dispute revolves around ETI's a well-known reputation in the profession for being an excessively protective father figure. Previously, his comments on monitoring Zonnique's personal life, and even her physical health, were dismissed as strict parenting or a cultural quirk of a king protecting his domain. But in light of Zonnique's recent comments, those earlier deeds are being recontextualized into something far worse. Instead of necessarily meaning a formal engagement, the term dating has been used in social media contexts to indicate a level of control and preoccupation that mimics a toxic partnership rather than a positive parental attachment. Zonnique's assertion that this has long been the case suggests that a man who wouldn't let go was in charge of her entire journey into womanhood. This realization is the cause of the undeniable tension that has been developing between the mother and daughter. Tiny's breakdown is inextricably linked to Zick's bravery. For many years, Zonnique remained the quiet, helpful daughter. However, Tiny's sudden choice to reveal the duration of T's dating-like hold on her life has put her in a difficult situation. Is a mother's duty to her kid more important than her duty to her husband? This question is at the center of the viral surge. Every tear from Tiny and every stubborn look from Zonnique portray a family struggling with its own past. The time frame for Zik didn't start yesterday. It goes all the way back to her early years, allowing the audience to wonder how much Tiny actually knew and how much she chose to keep quiet in order to keep her family peaceful. The mood surrounding this momentous live event is also affected by the weight of T.I.'s silence. While the women in his life are sobbing and bearing their souls, the King of the South remains a shadow in the context of this specific conflict. This silence just invites the public to speculate about the darker implications of Zonnie's comments. "You guys don't know the half of it," she remarks. Everyone is being urged by her to consider the holes in their reality. We saw Tiny's breakdown as the physical manifestation of that other side rising. It is the fatigue of a woman helpless to defend the undeniable. As we explore this evolving drama, the Harris family is no longer in control of the narrative. The schedule is now available. There are a lot of rumors about dating. The emotional toll is evident on Tiny's face. There is more to this news than just amusement. It's an example of how power functions and how a long-standing silence is shattered. Zonnie moves the chess pieces, leaving Tiny to pick up the pieces of a broken mirror. The world is watching to see if this discovery is the final blow to the Harris family's legacy or just the beginning. This particular issue is significantly more damaging than anything they have ever encountered because of how far these claimed activities stretched back throughout Zonnique's whole young adult existence. As the fallout from Tiny's mental breakdown continued to reverberate online, Zonnique Pullins' horrifying and in-depth revelations regarding her existence beneath T's house have taken center stage. To understand why this is being portrayed as a dating timeline, one must take into account the peculiar and often oppressive nature of their relationship. For years, Zonnie hinted that her stepfather's Usyk involvement in her personal life went beyond simple paternal concern. It was possessive and on the verge of an obsession that many fans are now labeling poisonous. This is not a new claim, even if Zik's past suggests that this activity started much earlier and continued far longer than anyone in the public eye ever suspected. When she talked about how long T has been dating her, she opened a Pandora's box of questions about the boundaries of the Harris family, using the term to denote a strong, exclusive, and limited tie. The plot of this crisis changes from simple familial drama to a psychological study of control throughout a significant portion of her early adulthood. Zonnique was the perfect example of a stepdaughter. Behind the scenes, meanwhile, she presents a reality where every move she made was analyzed as if she were a romantic partner rather than a child. Investigators on social media have begun to unearth previous interviews in which T.O. openly boasted about his control over Zonnique, including his infamous comments about accompanying her to private appointments to ensure her integrity and purity were upheld. Although these comments were criticized at the time, they were quickly disregarded because of T's customary protective persona. But Zonnie's later revelations painted those memories in a far more negative light, suggesting that this was not protection at all but rather a deliberate denial of her agency that has persisted for over a decade. What makes this part of the story so explosive is how long it is. Zonnique indicated many instances, a lifetime of being managed, she remarked. By sharing this chronology, she implied that T had such total influence over her social circles, career choices, and dating life that it mirrored the dynamics of an abusive, controlling relationship. She is essentially using song to convey that she was never allowed to grow up or live without T. This realization led to Tiny's breakdown. A mother's discovery that her daughter felt trapped in what was supposed to be a safe sanctuary. The public now wants to know how long this has been ongoing. Why didn't someone speak up earlier? Zonnique notes that the answer lies not only in as a father but also in T.I.'s power as a tycoon and the patriarch of a business that relied on their perfect image. As we delve more into the accusations, the dating jargon becomes a metaphor for the lack of space. In a healthy family, children are encouraged to select their own relationships and careers. According to these new accusations, T was the Harris family's ultimate gatekeeper, vetting everyone who came near Zonnique with a degree of zeal that many outsiders found alarming. By finally speaking up, Zonnique is reclaiming her own history. The family hustling script no longer defines her existence. She is writing on her own. This shift in power is what is causing the current family strife to spiral out of control. Describe a father who allegedly behaved possessively toward his stepdaughter. going beyond the bounds of normal family responsibilities. This period also affects Tiny and T's marriage itself, as Tiny Music, stuck in the middle, must make peace between the monster her daughter is and the man she loves. If T had been so focused on Zik's life for so long, where was Music Tiny? This question permeates every music viral video's comment area. Following Zonnique's admission, Tiny is compelled to face her potential negligence. Beyond the current occurrence, we witnessed a breakdown in music. It was about the years of ignored red flags and the silent cries for help that Zonnique is now through music putting to light. The entire family system is criticized in the chronology. It suggests music that the queen was either too scared or too captivated to oppose the king's overbearing authority. Every year that is added to this timeline, music signifies an extra year of unsaid stress that has finally reached a breaking point. The conflict is exacerbated by the psychological effects of these charges. Music. When a daughter feels forced to reveal how long a father figure music has been pressuring her, it tackles a widespread trauma that doesn't go away with an apology. Music essentially. Zonnique is undermining T's heroic self-concept. She is showing the world that the protective father was actually a controlling musical figure who didn't know where she began and he ended. This part of the play emphasizes the shift from a family comedy music drama to a serious conversation about boundaries and emotional health. There is more to the chronology than merely a list of dates. It's a map of Zonnique's lost independence, and her revelation of it is the first step music in her discovery. Her own voice. After years of being suppressed by the Harris family machine, the public's reaction music has been swift and brutal. Fans are taking sides, with many applauding Zonnique for having the guts to take on a strong man like T in music. Instead of seeing the courting song as a literal proclamation of romance, they see it as a symbolic admission of an overly personal and controlling relationship. As the second part of the story goes on, the issue just gets worse. Tiny's tears are now seen as a sign of a dysfunctional household, and a family that can't hide behind Atlanta royalty's extravagance. The answer to the question is far longer than anyone was prepared to hear. This revelation has set up the final confrontation, music, that will either cause the family to completely dissolve or drastically reorganize. Music, how they coexist. The transition from the timeline's reveal to Music Tiny Harris's real emotional collapse is arguably the worst aspect of the entire narrative. The phrase breaking down is often used as a catchphrase for a few tears on a reality show, but compared to what the public saw, Tiny's music was far more visceral. It was the voice of a woman who had long been the first music lady of an empire. The walls, which she understood were more than just closing in music, were based on her daughter's quiet suffering. Zonnie talked about the years she spent dating T, when she was subjected to control and possessiveness. Instead of defending herself, Tiny's reaction was one of total, agonizing loss. This went beyond a wife sobbing for her husband. It was a mother bemoaning the relationship she thought she had with her child. The way the collapse occurred was nearly too unprocessed for the cameras to record. Tiny, who is usually so composed and calculated with her public music image, seemed to visibly shrink under the weight of the lengthy inquiry. Zonnique claimed that every major accomplishment music that T had purportedly controlled or gatekept felt like a moral setback to Tiny each year. The viral videos that are presently doing the rounds may show the instant the realization sinks in. T has always been praised by her for being her daughter's prison. The visible manifestation of a family problem that has gone beyond mediation is Tiny's tears. No powerful publicist can fabricate the suffering of a mother who feels she failed to protect her own blood music from the man she shares a bed with. Examining the family crisis music aspect of this story requires us to take into account the power vacuum that has been left in the Harris household. The self-described monarch T, music, has always ruled his country in accordance with a specific set of traditional, although controversial, principles. But Zonnie's decision to use music as a means of self-expression has effectively challenged that narrative. The problem is no longer solely caused by a date schedule and a few domineering comments. It is related to a total absence of faith. Tiny's collapse suggests a shift in loyalty. For the first time in their fabled music, and often turbulent marriage, Tiny seems to be standing in the rubble. It is impossible to get in touch with T, since Zonnie's truth has burnt the bridge. The public is witnessing every music fracture in the ceiling of this divided household, which was formerly an Atlanta emblem of family harmony and black music brilliance. This breakdown is already having an impact on their social media accounts and business music activities. Fans are no longer only shipping the couple or laughing at their antics, they are demanding accountability. The tragedy has also had an impact on the other Harris children, who are now caught in the crossfire of a public reckoning. How do you respond when your eldest sister claims that for years your father figure treated her more like a piece of property than a daughter? Tiny's inability to stop crying during her live performances, music demonstrates that there are no easy answers. She is torn between the history she made with T and the future she owes Zonnie. This is an example of a broken live music scenario. Since everything is happening in real time, there is no set plan for healing a heart that has been broken by the people it most trusted. This breakup represents the end of an era for the Harris family in the perspective of music. Zick's dating timeline has spurred an important conversation about boundaries between famous music families. Tiny's tears should be seen by anybody who thinks fame and fortune can compensate for music's lack of uniqueness. Family counselors and legal professionals are now labeled in every post, suggesting that the monarch would eventually be held responsible for the way he governed his realm. The development of this tale leads us to an inevitable musical conclusion. The Harris family is no longer in our life. Whether they can transform this breakdown music into something new is still to be seen. But Tiny Harris's tears when her daughter's dating history with her husband's control was revealed will be the key music image of this affair. Add a dot to these final lines of the script. Music, we take note of Tiny's evident wariness. She has engaged in many battles, but this one is within. The soul of a mother is in jeopardy. By revealing how long this has been going on, Zonnique has given her mother the last warning. In music, choose the truth or the hustle. Even more terrible than the wailing is the silence that follows when the live streaming stop and the cameras turn black. The Harris music family predicament is no longer a tabloid headline. A Shakespearean musical tragedy is occurring in the heart of the hip-hop culture. Tiny Harris is completely insane. T is left standing amid the debris of a chronology he can no longer control music after Zick finishes speaking. As this startling revelation draws to a close, one thing is certain: the Harris music family will never be the same. We have heard the tale, witnessed the feelings, and seen the total breakdown of a mother caught between her husband and daughter. But now the emphasis is on you. What are your thoughts on Zonnie's decision to finally speak up after all these years? Do you believe that T's protective nature went too far and resulted in significantly more damage? Or are others misrepresenting her words on the internet? Most importantly, will Tiny Music Harris ever be able to get past this emotional betrayal? In the space provided for comments below, kindly express your thoughts. Music, share your thoughts on this Hollywood conundrum. If you found this analysis to be insightful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe music to our channel. Remember to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a break.